Okay, it's another musical top 10 in my record collection, music collection, CD collection, MP3, whatever it turns you on when it comes to listening to music. It's 1980. Yeah, God, 38 years ago. I was a sprightly 26. And at number 10, Remaining Light by the Talking Heads. Amazed that this isn't higher up the chart. Because it is absolutely brilliant. Cross-eyed and painless, the overload, and the piece de resistance, which is the great curve, are the highlights in this fourth album by David Byrne, Jerry Harrison, Tina Weymouth, and the drummer who I can't remember his name. A great band nevertheless. Oh, Chris Frantz. And this was played to death on my record player, and I suggest you get a listen to it. At 9 is Argy Bargy by Squeeze. This is possibly the first Squeeze album that I fell in love with. There was just song after song after song of beautiful pop music. They really knew how to put a song together, Tilbrook and Difford. And the highlights are If I Didn't Love You, I Think I'm a Go-Go, and the absolute terrific hot single, Pulling Muscles from a Shell. At number 8 is XTC, Black Sea. Acquired taste, this one, but I'm glad I stuck with it. Took me about 4 or 5 listens before I realised how brilliant Partridge was, and the other guy whose name escapes me at the moment. And the highlight tracks on this are Sergeant Rock, Generals and Majors, and my No Language in Our Lungs. I love that one as well. But the favourite of mine is the single Tower of London, which marches its way through the headphones, and it's a glorious pop song. At number 7 is Sound Effects by The Jam. The Jam were heading towards the exit door when this came out, but it's still high quality stuff. There's the excellent single Start and the follow-up single, different style, just as brilliant, That's Entertainment. And finally, another highlight for me is Set the House Ablaze. Okay, at number 6 is Joy Division, Closer. This, of course, is the second album by Joy Division, and the final album before Curtis decided to end it all. Again, an acquired taste. You don't expect to love this one the first time you put it on. You need to get in the mood, and the mood is usually depressive. But Isolation, Heart and Soul, and 24 Hours are definitely the highlights here. At number 5, Grace and Danger by John Martin. Some beautiful guitar on this, some lovely songs as well. Hurt in Your Heart comes to mind, but the two favourites of mine are Sweet Little Mystery and Some People Are Crazy. Martin's singing is probably as good as it's ever been, and anyway, we all know what a genius he is on the guitar. Very atmospheric. At number 4, the first Dexy Midnight's Runners album, Searching for the Young Rebels. Of course, it's got the famous single Gino on it, but it's more than that. I couldn't help if I tried, and the team that meets in cafes, absolutely brilliant. At 3, David Bowie, Scare Monsters and Super Creeps. Well, I thought this album was an extremely powerful piece of work. Apart from the two singles, Ashes to Ashes and Fashion, there's not a dud on this one. It's No Game Part 1, I think, is the strongest track. So to 2, and Boy by U2. Now, I have to confess that I fell in love with this when I was on a date, and I took this girl, who later became my first wife, to a restaurant in town. It was a a burgers style American restaurant, and the portions were huge, and it was in low light, very romantic, and I took this girl there on this date, and I was absolutely besotted with her, but I have to confess that I was sidetracked a bit by the music that was coming out of the speakers. It was at quite a low level, but the music was so unforgettable that I rushed home and I decided I got to find out what this music was. Well, I did, and it was Boy, the first album by U2, with Bono, The Edge, Adam and Larry Mullen, basically creating a sound, an Irish rock sound that I'd never heard of before in my life. The pick of the best, Akan Dub, I Will Follow, which and Out of Control. Having said that, our whole album is an absolute dream. Can't really understand why it isn't number one. Well, I can understand why it's not number one. Number one is The Pretenders, the first album. This was the album that crossed punk with solid rock, and it had one of the best rock singers in the business, particularly of the female persuasion, singing out through the songs. I'm talking about that absolutely brilliant, but the name escapes me. Why does this name keep on escaping me? These songs, anyway, are precious. The Phone Call, Up to Your Neck, and the beautiful ballad Kid and Private Lives. Okay, I still haven't recalled that name. Doubtless you'll tell me as soon as I hang up this music top 10. Okay, that's it.